Welcome, you're watching Good Morning India. I'm Gargi Rawat. Stay with us for all the news we need to follow. Today, the budget session of Parliament will begin. A stormy session expected ahead. Also, the standoff between the farmers and the police is growing at the Ghazipur border. That's the UP-Delhi border. Let's take a look at the headlines we're tracking at this hour. A standoff between farmers and the police at the Ghazipur border in Delhi as the UP government takes a hard line, asks farmers to be removed, but protesting farmers determined to stay on, more expected to join in today. In fact, hundreds of farmers are heading to Delhi in support of farm leader Tikait, who broke down in tears yesterday. The Noida police have filed a sedition case against several journalists and Congress leader Shashi Tharoor for allegedly misreporting and spreading disharmony during the clashes on Republic Day. The opposition to boycott the president's address in Parliament in solidarity with farmers protesting against the new farm laws as the budget session begins today. Former Chief Economic Advisor Arvind Subramanian says the government should avoid any major surprises in the budget. Problems of the financial system, however, must be addressed. And DMK Chief M.K. Stalin will launch his Stalin at Your Constituency campaign from today, where he will personally collect grievances from all the constituency. Well, our top story now, huge security arrangements were made at the Delhi-Uttar Pradesh border at Ghazipur yesterday evening as farmers protesting against the centre's contentious farm laws remained locked in a face-off with the police. UP decided to take action 2 days after the violence during the Republic Day tractor rally. The local administration had asked the farmers to end their protest and vacate the road by midnight. However, the farmers have refused to budge, with their leader Rakesh Tikait declaring that he's ready to face bullets if needed. He even broke down at one point. The two other key borders, Tikri and the epicenter of the farmers' protests, Shingu, have also been placed under heavy security. The police have dug up roads using JCB machines as well.
पूरे देश के किसानों को बर्बाद क्या बात देश के किसानों को बर्बाद करना चाहते हैं? नहीं होगा। ये देश का किसान, ये 5 लाख ट्रैक्टर मेरे खरीदना है, मेरी जिम्मेदारी है। इस किसान की मेरी जिम्मेदारी है। इस किसान को बर्बाद नहीं होने दूंगा देश के।
आज अचानक क्या हुआ? आज अचानक क्या हुआ?
वापसी होगा।
आज अचानक क्या हुआ? पूरा घटनाक्रम बताइए।
बीजेपी पार्टी लगी सारी किसान को बर्बाद करने बनेगी, नहीं छोड़ने का। ये बिल भी वापसी होंगे, बिल भी वापसी होंगे। अगर बिल वापसी नहीं हुए, अगर कानून वापसी नहीं होंगे तो राकेश टिकैत आत्महत्या करेगा। साजिश कर गए।
आप रो क्यों रहे हो? क्यों रो रहे हो?
मैंने
आप खाली क्यों नहीं कर रहे?
नहीं खाली करने का, नहीं खाली करने का, नहीं खाली करने का, नहीं। मेरे किसान को मारने की कोशिश करी जा रही है। ये साजिश है। किसान को मारने की साजिश बीजेपी के लोग कर रहे हैं। यहाँ पर जितने यहाँ पर लोग हैं, उनके मारने की साजिश रची जा रही। बीजेपी के विधायक यहाँ पे हैं, उनके 300 लोग यहाँ पे हैं, लाठी डंडे और गोलियों से मौजूद है। यहाँ के पुलिस प्रशासन 2000 पुलिस के लोग यहाँ पे मौजूद हैं। ये अत्याचार है किसान के साथ में, देश के किसान के साथ में गद्दारी है।
And that video of Rakesh Tikait breaking down in tears and crying has gone viral among farmers. In fact, now more are heading to this protest site. NDTV Saurabh Shukla spoke to Tikait late night.
टिकैत साहब, क्या तकलीफ हुई आपको डॉक्टर की टीम देख?
बीपी थोड़ा बढ़ेगा।
आपका बीपी बढ़ गया है? कितना बीपी आया है?
165-70 के आसपास।
165-70 के आसपास। टिकैत साहब, अब आपका जो भाषण है, वो जो आपने भाषण इन द सेंस आपने जो बयान दिया मीडिया में, जिसमें आप भावुक भी हो गए, वो वायरल है और तमाम जगह जो है किसान कह रहे हैं हम वापस चलेंगे। आपका क्या एक्शन प्लान है?
देखो, वो पूर्ण रूप से गलत चीज थी। मतलब पुलिस प्रशासन मिलकर
पर बीजेपी के लोगों का क्या मतलब था? बीजेपी के विधायक लाठी लेकर अपने समर्थकों के साथ में हमारे बुजुर्गों को पीटने के लिए आ गए।
प्रशासन आपसे क्या कह रहा था? टिकैत साहब क्या कह रहा था प्रशासन आपसे?
प्रशासन तो ये है कि खाली करो इसको, हम आपको गिरफ्तार करें, या तो खाली करो, नहीं तो बलपुरी होगा, गिरफ्तार देंगे। हमने कहा कि गिरफ्तार करो आप हमको।
आपने कहा कि आप आत्महत्या कर लेंगे, आप फांसी लगा लेंगे।
अगर इस तरह से हमारे लोगों के ऊपर लाठियां चलेगी, बीजेपी के लोग ये चलेंगे? मतलब बीजेपी के लोग करेंगे या पुलिस करेगी? पुलिस की लाठियां सहेंगे, लेकिन कोई पार्टी के लोग बीजेपी के साथ में मिलकर काम करें, ये देश के साथ में गद्दारी नहीं होने देंगे।
काफी लोग वापस गए थे।
आएंगे वे ट्रैक्टर फिर आएंगे,
वो ट्रैक्टर फिर आएंगे। तो
या तो कर ले, बातचीत कर ले सरकार हमारे से। हमारे जो
टिकैत साहब आप कह रहे हैं कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाएंगे, आप ये भी सुनने में आया कि आप सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाएंगे?
जो वकील कहे वे बता देंगे सब चीज, उनको पता। मुझे
आप यहाँ से हटने वाले नहीं?
यहाँ से नहीं हटेंगे।
रात भर जागे रहेंगे?
नहीं सोऊंगा, मैं जागूंगा, सोऊंगा।
जाएंगे नहीं यहाँ से?
नहीं।
Well, NDTV's Akshay now joins us on the phone line for more. And, Akshay, after that video of Ticayat breaking down and crying and saying he won't be removed, it seemed to have re-energized the farmers' protest here, at least at the Delhi-UP border. And more farmers are now heading there. There's a huge police presence as well.
Well, that emotional appeal by Rakesh Ticayat has in fact done wonders, Gargi, because we are seeing that not only from Muzaffarnagar but from a lot of places, other parts of the state of Uttar Pradesh, farmers have started to reach the Ghazipur border. They have already left. Several tractors and trolleys are leaving. Also, there is a Mahapanchayat at Muzaffarnagar, and Naresh Ticayat, the elder brother of Rakesh Ticayat, has also said that now the real tractor rally will begin to the borders of the national capital, and this protest that has been going on for approximately 2 months now will now in fact re-energize, and they are going to give all the support to the farmers who have been sitting at the borders now. As far as the route to Ghazipur border is concerned, the police have already stopped the general public from using that route. The route, in fact, to go or to come from Ghazipur borders have been closed. There is still heavy security deployment, but yesterday what we saw was a total paradigm shift as far as the situation at the Ghazipur border is concerned, because initially when Rakesh Ticayat had already said that he will be, surrendering in front of the police, he will be getting arrested. But later when we saw that the police officials, they went to the stage, the farmers were quite angry with that, and Rakesh Ticayat later said that there will be no surrendering in front of the police and the movement will continue. In fact, he also alleged that members of the Bharatiya Janata Party and the representatives, in fact MLAs of BJP, have been there and have been trying to create ruckus there just to defame the farmers further. So that all has in fact changed the entire situation at the Ghazipur border. There is security deployment. There are diversions that have been made by the police to avoid any kind of congestion that we saw last night. So the situation has totally changed, and thousands of farmers are now expected to reach the Ghazipur border. Also last night, we saw that the hundreds of farmers reached the residence of Rakesh Ticayat just to be in solidarity with him.
Right, Akshay, thanks so much for joining us with those details. And NDTV Sukirti was there late night on this reporting on the situation at the Ghazipur border as more and more farmers were arriving there to participate in the protest. As we said, it's got re-energized. Here's what she sent us late night.
These are the scenes at the Ghazipur border at midnight. You see all of these farmers raising slogans, all of them with the tricolor, raising slogans. There was a lot of tension throughout the day. It seemed like they would be asked to vacate. They were asked to vacate the area. The administration had issued orders, but Mr. Ticayat, who's leading them, refused to vacate the area, and that's the instruction that was sent out to these farmers as well. We will go and get you their voices as well. Sir, आप लोग बताएं कि ये अभी इस समय तिरंगा साथ में लेकर के, मतलब अभी गणतंत्र दिवस पे भी आपकी रैली में भी देखा था हमने, सभी ट्रैक्टरों के ऊपर लगा हुआ था, पर अभी क्यों 2 दिन बाद कोई खास कारण कि आप सब तिरंगा लेकर के साथ में बैठे हैं?
नहीं, तिरंगा पहले दिन से हम लेके चले हैं। एक हमारा संगठन का झंडा है और एक तिरंगा है। राष्ट्र विरोधी काम करेंगे उन पे कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए, और ये डिटेक्ट हो चुके हैं, लोग सामने आ चुके हैं, सरकार उन पर कार्रवाई क्यों नहीं करती?
The activity here continues as usual at the Ghazipur border, just like it has been for the last 1 month. Their protest has gone on, and even now it continues to be peaceful. On the other hand, if you see their stage of the farmers group is set up over there. Mr. Rakesh Tiket, who's leading this group of farmers, addresses all of these farmers from that stage. This is from the same stage where he issued emotional appeals. Farmers continue to say that their protest will go on and they did not disrespect the tricolour. Their love for the nation continues. Those who are responsible for the violence, action should be taken against them. From Ghazipur with camera person Pujaria, this is Sukirti Dwivedi for NDTV.
And let's now take a look at the situation at the Tikri border in northwest Delhi, where farmers from Haryana are protesting. Remember, there's several protest points. There's Tikri border, Ghazipur border with UP, and of course the Shingu border with Haryana. So this is the Tikri border where there's been, where the police deployment has been stepped up. Cement barricades have also been put up between the police and protesters who are on the other side. Rapid Action Force and Delhi police has been deployed at the Tikri border. And as we said, after that emotional appeal by Rakesh Tiket last night, it's electrified the protesters, and more farmers are now marching towards Delhi or arriving there on their tractors. And in fact, there was a Mahapanchayat also held, after which farmers left for Delhi, and more are now joining in at the Ghazipur border in support of Rakesh Tiket. Let's go across to NDTV's Ghazali now for more. And Ghazali, yesterday the UP government had asked for these for the protest site to be, to be emptied by midnight. However, after this action, after Rakesh Tiket's emotional video that has gone viral among the farmers, it seems to have electrified them, and more are joining in from UP and Haryana.
Yeah, even from Punjab, and that video has certainly gone viral. And if you see the sequence of events, after 26 January of what happened in Delhi, the violence engulfed the entire central Delhi parts, there was a sort of, the energy of the entire protest went down. With Deep Sidhu, names like this appeared, and even people who came to attend the tractor protest, they were naturally going to leave the protest or return to their villages, but the news is spread as if the entire protest, the protesters at Singhu and Tikri, they are all leaving the protest site. But by yesterday evening, things have turned around. Tiket's teary-eyed video has gone viral late in the night in Haryana, and in many villages. If you take the example of Jind district, many villages held a meeting. Farmers came out on their own. The video went viral, and in one village in Jind district, farmers came out and have blocked the Jind-Chandigarh highway as well. And people started coming out. Videos have started pouring in from across Haryana and some parts of Punjab, where people have left for Delhi even yesterday late night as well. And even on Google Maps, many such posts came up where it showed that the entire stretch from Karnal towards Delhi was showing the busy route, or it was showing that it has got a lot of movement from the people. But certainly the video has made impact. People are calling each other. Announcements are being made from temple in one village, and this is how it is happening. And it is expected that the number at Ghazipur border is going to swell today, with protesters coming in from parts of Punjab, Haryana and Western UP.
All right, Ghazali, thanks so much for joining us with those details. Well, to talk more about the farmers' protest and also about the government and centre and what they're planning, we're now joined by PKD Nambiar, political analyst who supports the BJP, Kiran Kumar Vissa, someone who's a member of a farmers' union, and Ved Bhushan, former ACP Delhi Police. Also joining us on the phone line, Avik Saha, national convener of the Jai Kisan Andolan. And I'd like to start with you, Mr. Saha. Tell us the latest, because it does seem that after Republic Day, after the kind of violence we saw and the kind of allegations and cases, that it had dampened the farmers' movement, this protest. But now, with what happened yesterday and Rakesh Tiket's video going viral, it seems to have reinvigorated it, and more farmers are now heading to the borders.
The farmers' movement has always been peaceful. What happened on 26th of January should not have happened. There are many reasons for it. I don't want to discuss it right now. But the movement has to go on, because the issues that the farmers were agitating on still are there. Yes, we need absolute peace. On 30th January, there will be a mass fasting. We need to replan and actually do a peaceful movement. And I think the response that we hope to get, it's too early to say how many people are responding, what's happening, is that let's do this rightly, peacefully, and get the demands from the government. That's where we stand.
All right, Mr. Ved Bhushan, if we talk about how it's being handled by authorities, we saw the big police build-up yesterday evening at the Ghazipur border, and it was said that the UP police had, UP government had asked for the farmers' protest to be removed by midnight, but now we're seeing it's got reinvigorated. It's quite a tricky situation for the government and for the security forces to handle.
गार्गी, जिस स्टेट से आप आते हैं वहां पर नेताओं का अपना कोई ग्राउंड होता है। जितने भी नेता इस आंदोलन के अंदर है, ये आंदोलन नहीं है, ये कहते हैं ना माई वे इज हाईवे। पहले कहते थे सुप्रीम कोर्ट में हम नहीं जाएंगे, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के नहीं सुनेंगे, अब बोले सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाएंगे। नाउ दे आर वीपिंग लाइक क्रोकोडाइल टीयर्स। मिस्टर राकेश टिकैत लॉस्ट 2 times इलेक्शन, जमानत जब्त हो गई। महेंद्र यादव स्वराज पार्टी का, उनका एक भी एमएलए हिंदुस्तान में नहीं है, खुद वो 2 बार इलेक्शन हार चुके हैं। जितने भी टीकरी और सिंधु बॉर्डर पर सो कॉल्ड लीडर्स बैठे हुए हैं, सबके खिलाफ क्रिमिनल केसेज हैं, यूएपीए के केसेज हैं। मुझे समझ में नहीं आता कि इनको लीडर कैसे मान लिया जाए। फिर भी डेमोक्रेसी है, सम्मान करते हैं, किसान हमारे अन्नदाता है। बहुत दिन तक पुलिस ने पेशेंस का इस्तेमाल किया, 26 तारीख को हुआ, आज भी पेशेंस का इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, पर सारी हिंदुस्तान, पूरी दुनिया देख रही है किस तरह से ये सो कॉल्ड लीडर्स हैं। दीज आर ग्रुप ऑफ एनार्किस्ट, these are not आंदोलन।
But sir, because of allegations like this and UAPA being filed against the farmer leaders, this has also led to a deep anger among the farmers.
It's a requirement. This is a requirement of this time. इसके अलावा what option left with the police or with the government? कोई रास्ता नहीं बचा इनके खिलाफ एक्शन लेने के अलावा। अब भी वो रो रहे हैं क्योंकि अब उनको पता है जेल जाना है। दे हैव टू गो तिहाड़ जेल वेटिंग फॉर सच लीडर। ये लीडर नहीं है, ये समथिंग एल्स है। सभी को सोचने की जरूरत है किस तरह से ये लोग करते हैं। वहां पर लाल किले के ऊपर विक्की थॉमस, एक क्रिश्चियन आदमी, रोमन कैथोलिक, कैसे आया झंडा लहराने के लिए, जो लंदन के अंदर रहता है। ये तमाम चीजें
while the flag hoisting may have been incorrect, what does it have to do with whether it's a Christian or whoever? Kiran Kumar Vissa, your response?
No, I just want to clearly say once again that the events of January 26th, it has come out in the open who are the people behind them, like Deep Sidhu, like Laka Siddhana, people who and organizations which have actually nothing to do with the Please don't interrupt when I'm speaking. No, please don't interrupt when I'm speaking. Organizations which have nothing to do with the Samyukt Kisan Morcha, which had already declared that they were going to follow a different route. They were not going to follow the police agreed upon route, but still the police took no action to actually stop them effectively. So all those things are in the open, and they are before the public. It is for them to judge. The Samyukt Kisan Morcha and the farmer leaders have declared once again that they are completely for peaceful agitation for their aims. Putting up some flag on Red Fort has nothing to do with Farmers Union. It does nothing to achieve any of the goals of the farmer union, farmer organizations. Therefore, it is very clear who has to gain by such actions. It is the government, and it is those who are opposing the farmers movement. And the farmers movement has nothing to gain. It was a deliberately planned action by people who wanted to undermine the movement. I think that is very clear. But going forward, the farmers movement, has taken a very responsible position. All the leaders, they have called for peace. They have announced a fast, a nationwide fast on January 30th, standing by the principles of Gandhiji and non-violence, and giving a message to all the farmers across the country that this kind of incidents where you go, beyond what is planned by the movement, which is good for the movement, is not to be envisaged, anywhere else in the country also. So it is a message to the farmers. It is a message to the supporters of the farmers. That this is the nature of the movement. The nature of the movement.
It was also being said that the farmer leaders had lost control of the movement in a sense after what we saw on the 26th of January. What would you say to that?
See, like I said, basically there were elements which were there at the protest, which are not part of the Samyukt Kisan Morcha and the collective farmers movement, and they did hijack the protest, part of the parade for half a day, and indulge in actions which actually damaged the cause of the farmers. And now the farmers movement leaders have taken control of the agitation, taken a responsible position, dissociated themselves from these elements which were never part of the collective in the first place. That has to be noted. For example, if Samyukt Kisan Morcha as a platform has taken permission, police permission to do a parade, and if organizations which are not part of the parade, not part of the permission process, have threatened to disrupt that process, then it also becomes the responsibility of the police, having identified those people, how to prevent them. So I'm just saying that,
well, now a bunch of cases have been filed even under UAPA against farm leaders. PK Nambiar is somebody
unjustified. See, those are completely unjustified. And we are saying that, you identify the real culprits of people who indulged in those violations, and you take necessary action against them. That is what the farmer leaders are calling for. But if the government wants to use this as an opportunity to crack down on all the leaders of the movement who had nothing to do with the untoward incidents, so that the farmers movement can be beaten back, that is going to be an unfortunate thing, because the farmers across the country
let me get PK Nambiar as someone who supports the BJP in on this, and so they're alleging that a whole number of cases have been filed on farmer leaders, but the farm leaders are saying, please identify who indulged in that violence, that Red Fort incident on the 26th. How are you filing cases against just everybody even associated with the movement?
Gargi, firstly, on the very first, my question is that why the 26th was the day which was chosen by these so-called farm leaders? Why 26th was chosen? When India was showing its military might to the world, when India was celebrating the Republic Day and showing the world that what a progressive country and what kind of a powerful nation it is, they were trying to demolish the very image of India. You call them farm leaders. It is a country wherein the farmers or the Jai Jawan and Jai Kisan is not just a slogan for Indians. For you and me, Jai Jawan and Jai Kisan, when we say, it comes from within. It is an emotional connect. But the people, these goons, these people who have taken completely tried to demolish the very image of India worldwide. I think these people are not supposed to be called as farmers. They are not farmers. I am coming from a farming background. I know what farming is all about. If there is if they have an issue, they have the right to protest. And of course, peacefully they were protesting, and the government was also inviting them to talk. Look at the way this whole things have happened from the last 62 days. Initially, when this law was passed, they were saying that the MSP should be a part of it. Now, once the government has agreed, assured, even yesterday in the Supreme Court, when the Chief Justice of India asked that where is it showing that MSP is not going to be taken away, nobody was having an answer. So even yesterday, even the Rakesh Tikayat in the initial phase has approved. Today, this agitation has taken a completely different toll. It has shown its true color, that from the very beginning, the people like me were telling that there is something beyond this protest. This is not just for the farmers. This is not about farm bills. This is something else.
So you're saying it was some sort of a conspiracy. Ved Bhushan, what about what they're saying that, the police, the authorities are just filing cases against everyone associated with what was till now a very peaceful protest on the borders of Delhi. It's been over 65 days of this protest. Yes, on Republic Day, we had this unfortunate, we had the violence. One farmer died. We had this unfortunate incident at the Red Fort where somebody even raised a flag, but they're saying investigate that particular violence that took place, that particular action that took place, instead of filing all these cases. Ved Bhushan.
गार्गी आग लगा के तमाशा देखना, ये कौन सा तरीका हुआ? पहले कहते थे हम शांतिपूर्वक प्रोटेस्ट करेंगे, वहां पर इनको जगह दी गई, सुप्रीम कोर्ट इंटरवीन किया, इनको बुराड़ी मैदान दिया गया, फिर ये हाईजैक, दिल्ली को हाईजैक करके रखा हुआ 2 महीने. What type of protest?
Let me just get in Ved Bhushan as well. You made your point.
Gandhian protest. Pardon?
Gargi, I wanted to make a point.
Yeah, Gargi, can you repeat your question?
Gargi.
Right, let's just get Kiran Kumar to respond to what you've said about the violence that took place and, about how it's some sort of a conspiracy, some sort of planning taking place.
No, like I said, it is very clear that the events of the January 26 were planned events. But you can just think for a moment, who would have planned it, because who stands to benefit from it? The farmers movement does not stand to benefit from any such actions. Farmers movement for 62 days has shown that under very trying conditions it was maintaining a peaceful thing. And secondly, let me please complete. Please don't interrupt. I'm just saying, please don't interrupt.
One moment, just let him complete his point.
Please don't interrupt. I'm just saying that, 90% of the Kisan parade happened very peacefully. It was welcomed. It showcased the strength of the farmers and showcased the diversity of farming before the nation. It showcased.
Something has to be logical here.
All right, but going forward now, PKD Nambiar, if we talk about what's happening now, it seems that
let me just finish my point. Gargi, please let me finish my point. All I'm saying is that, on the 26th, 90% of the parade happened very beautifully. It was welcomed by the citizens of Delhi. And also Kisan parades happened in more than 500 locations across the country. I'm sitting in Hyderabad, in Telangana, in 20 places it happened. In Hyderabad, there was a beautiful parade. This was a day when actually the support to the farmers movement was showcased before the entire nation. And the reason for doing it on Republic Day is because Republic Day is the day of actual respect to the Constitution and the rights and freedoms that are given in the Constitution. So the people were peacefully asserting them. Of course, it was hijacked by certain elements. You please investigate those elements.
All right, but let's now move away from the 26th. A final word, Mr. Nambiar, but going forward now, the farmers are determined to continue with their protest. And in fact, the action by the UP government at the Ghazipur border seems to have only reinvigorated them. More farmers from UP, from Haryana are joining in the protest.
Gargi, it's very simple. If a farmer in India is having a genuine issue, they have all the right to protest, and they should continue to protest till the time their requirement is not being met.
Exactly, that's what we are saying.
From anywhere. But in the same time, it is the duplicate farmers like Rakesh Tikayat, Yogendra Yadav, or the people who have conspired against the nation, who have conspired against the very Republic of India, should be jailed immediately. These people are not farmers.
All right, well, Mr. Nambiar, the tractor parade was something decided on between the police and the farmer unions. Yes, in fact, farmer unions themselves are saying investigate what happened with that violence and, and hold those responsible for it, take them to account. We'll have to leave it there and we'll continue to,
Gargi, who will take the responsibility of what happened on that day?
Well, they're saying investigate and see who is responsible for it. And
who will take the responsibility?
All right, we'll have to leave it there. There have been lots of cases filed, and hopefully, they will find who was responsible for that violence, whether it was violence, whether it was indeed a conspiracy. I'll have to leave it there. I'm very sorry. We're completely out of time. With that, time for us to slip into a short break. On the other side, we'll also tell you about how the Parliament session, the winter session, the budget session rather, is beginning. And in fact, opposition parties are going to boycott the President's address in solidarity with the farmers. Stay with us. Now, the budget session of Parliament begins today with strict restrictions for coronavirus. The union budget will be presented on the 1st of February. Now, the session, which will continue till the first week of April, is set to be a stormy one, with the opposition out to corner the government over contentious farm laws amid the ongoing farmer protests. In a first, President Ramnath Kovind will address the members of both houses seated in 3 locations. But 17 opposition parties led by the Congress have decided to boycott the President's address in solidarity with farmers protesting against the new farm laws. That's what senior Congress leader Ghulam Nabi Azad said yesterday. NDTV Sanket Upadhyay has more.
So the budget session of Parliament is going to begin tomorrow. It will be held in 2 parts, and tomorrow is the President's address. Of course, the budget is going to be presented on the 1st of February, but a fair amount of politics is also at play, where the opposition has now decided that they are going to boycott the President's address tomorrow. There is an interesting omission in this list of the opposition boycott, and that is the Bahujan Samaj Party. Mayawati has decided that she will not join the opposition's boycott. Apart from that, statements are going to be released, joint statements are going to be released for farmers by the opposition parties. In fact, we are also hearing that 16 opposition parties, including the Congress, have demanded a probe in the centre's role, what they say is the centre's role in the Republic Day violence. As we told you, budget session is going to be held in two parts. The first part begins tomorrow and ends on the 15th of February, and the second part begins on the 8th of March to end on the 8th of April.
So over the next few days and weeks, India's finance minister, her counterparts in states will present keenly watched budgets that are expected to push recovery across sectors in the country as it tries to emerge from its crippling COVID pandemic. Now, one sector that will be keenly watched is education, where the pandemic seems to have worsened inequalities and increased the digital divide between rural and urban areas. Alok Pandey reports.
This fresh coat of paint and extensive renovations, the only good news. At this remote UP government primary school in Sonbhadra's Dudhi, 450 kilometers east of Lucknow, in a year overrun by the COVID pandemic. All through last year, with physical classes shut because of COVID, the big challenge faced by government school teachers in Sonbhadra, like Rahul Ranjan, how to deliver education in one of India's most backward districts, where over 50% of children have no access to e-learning or even learning through TV.
यहाँ के बच्चों के पास न तो स्मार्टफोन की सुविधा है, न लैपटॉप्स हैं और न ही विद्यालयों में स्मार्ट क्लासेस की व्यवस्था है। तो मैं माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी से ये रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि इस बार का जब भी वो बजट बनाएं तो इन चीज़ों पर ज़्यादा ध्यान दें, जिससे कि हमारे ग्रामीण क्षेत्र के बच्चों का विकास शहरी क्षेत्रों के बच्चों के विकास की तरफ हो सके।
हमारे पास वो संसाधन नहीं है, जो शहर के बच्चों के पास टैबलेट है, लैपटॉप है, वो हमारे पास नहीं उपलब्ध है और उसकी वजह से हम लोग उतनी अच्छी तरीके से कवर नहीं कर पाए हैं।
A report by the NGO Oxfam in September 2020, in the middle of the COVID pandemic, that surveyed over 1,000 parents and 500 teachers across 5 states, including Bihar and UP, found that 8 of 10 parents reported non-delivery of education. 80% teachers lack devices to deliver online education in UP, the survey found. In cases where education was actually delivered in these states, 3 out of 4 parents reported issues like low internet connectivity or iffy internet connectivity and extremely low mobile network coverage. But it is not just government schools that have suffered. 850 kilometers from Sonbhadra, at the prestigious Aligarh Muslim University, where a recent online convocation was attended by Prime Minister Modi, students and professors both say the last year has seen unprecedented challenges in delivering education.
आने वाले टाइम में बजट में हम लोग ये देखना चाहते हैं कि हमारी एजुकेशन पे अगर कोविड पता नहीं कब तक खत्म होगा और कब हम लोगों का ये चीज बैलेंस में आएगी। फ्री इंटरनेट कम से कम स्टूडेंट्स के लिए तो होना ही चाहिए।
जो बजट की प्रायोरिटी है वो एजुकेशन पे होनी चाहिए, इसलिए कि एजुकेशन काफ़ी डैमेज हुआ है। तो सरकार जो है वो ये भी ध्यान दे कि किस तरह से जो स्टूडेंट को रिक्वायर्ड चीज़ें हैं, चाहे टेक्नोलॉजी के लेवल पे हो, नेटवर्किंग के लेवल पे हो, टावर हो, कनेक्टिविटी हो, अपरेटस हो, मतलब इंस्ट्रूमेंट जैसे लैपटॉप, इसको कैसे मुहैया कराया जाए थोक के भाव, उसका कुछ मतलब जाके आउटपुट अच्छा हो।
All eyes now on Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman and her budget speech next Monday. With Prabhat Kumar in Sonbhadra and Adnan Khan in Aligarh, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
And the former economic advisor Arvind Subramanian spoke to Dr. Pranoy Roy and highlighted his expectations for the budget. In his 4-point list, Mr. Subramanian said the problems of the financial system must be addressed in the budget and that the government should avoid major surprises.
One last issue. Analyzed all this, you've been involved in budgets before. Given the current situation, given that we were already slowing down prior to the pandemic, then came the pandemic, what would you like to see in this budget?
That's a great question to end on, I think, Roya. Let me say 2 or 3 things which I think are really important. One, first and foremost, we are still not out of the pandemic. People are still hurting. People are still suffering. So the social safety net that we put in place for the pandemic, Manrega, PDS, cash transfers, they should still be available for all those who need it. So we shouldn't, take that social safety net, which is still cushioning people's lives and livelihoods. I think that's important point number one. Second, I would like to see, no surprises in the budget. For example, more tariff increases and so on. All those, surprises I hope the government will avoid. Third, I think that given the state of the financial system, I hope the budget will, and policies in general, more broadly, will have something to really address the problems of the financial system, whether it's a bad bank or the IBC being revived in some ways. I think we should do that. I would see a little bit of reversal of policies that took so many people out of the tax-paying net. I think that has to come back. But above all, and this is what I would like to end on, if the diagnosis that we have is the problem is the software, I would like to see evidence beginning in the budget that that software is being kind of addressed and remedied. First, I want the budget to be totally transparent, and the government, started on this course last year. Transparency, we know everything, where the expenditures are, no off-balance sheet expenditure, what is the true deficit, one. Two, I think the numbers should be credible. We can't have, very over-optimistic projections like we've had in the last 3 or 4 years. So just a kind of credible budget with credible numbers and also with some serious credible plans of how we will bring the fiscal situation under control. And finally, a signal that, the government, whether it's agriculture or the GST, will go back to a kind of cooperative approach to policy making more generally. So in some ways, I would say, if the diagnosis is software, not hardware, that evidence that software is being addressed, not just in the budget, but on an ongoing basis beyond, that's what I would be looking for in terms of the future. And if we can do that, we can restore dynamism back to where it used to be.
Well, news now from Tamil Nadu, and DMK Chief M.K. Stalin will launch his Stalin at Your Constituency campaign today. A unique approach. Stalin will personally collect grievances from all constituencies, assuring people to solve them within 100 days of government formation if the DMK wins elections. Kickstarting from Tiruvannamalai district, M.K. Stalin plans to tour all 234 constituencies in a month. Remember, Tamil Nadu is heading to elections in a few months' time. Well, let's now get you the latest on the vaccination drive. There have been more than 80 million people who have been vaccinated across the globe. India has vaccinated 2.5 million people and is on the 6th spot on the global vaccinations list. Meanwhile, questions have been raised. Why not allow vaccines in the private sector as well? What is the government saying? NDTV's Sukirti Dwivedi reports.
There is a process that needs to be followed before COVID vaccines are available for sale in public. That's the response of the government to growing demands that vaccines be available to anyone who wants to pay for their shots.
For any program, monitoring and evaluation becomes very, very important. And as you know, that whole thing is on the digital platform. So you see, it is important to record every event. So I see that even if we involve private sector in long run, that will make a difference in terms of attaining our target, very successfully.
The government today said that it remains in talks with private players, including Ms. Shaw.
Not only Ms. Kiran Majumdar-Shaw, but we engage with all stakeholders in the private sector. Specifically Ms. Shaw, I have engaged with her. We have got inputs from her, and we are actively examining those inputs.
At the moment, India is among the few countries that have administered more than 2 million doses of the coronavirus vaccine, even as the infection spread continues to subside. All of these 2 million doses have been administered to healthcare workers. With camera person Pooja Arya in New Delhi, this is Sukirti Dwivedi for NDTV.